Now, if there's one thing you can be sure of, it's that nothing is more powerful than a young boy's wish. Except an Apache helicopter. They have machine guns and missiles. It's unbelievably impressive. They are an absolute death machine. Welcome in to the Bro Force Squad podcast. I am your host, Jeff Hornacek. Thank you guys for checking us out. We are a bunch of bros here to talk superheroes, movies, and superhero movies. This is our 43rd episode. Before we get started, let's go around and meet the fellow bros joining me tonight. As always, we start with our enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger, who I'm a little concerned about because right before the podcast, he texted me saying, quote, dude, I need to borrow $4,000, but don't worry because we're going to make our money back threefold. Matt, what was that all about?
It's pretty fucking easy. You just got to work for somebody for a while, and then you get on top of them, and then you hire like 3 people, but then you get on top of them again, and you hire like 8 people. It's fucking insane.
Okay, what I'm going to do...
It makes total sense.
I'm going to come over, and we're going to draw this out on a sheet of paper, and I just want to show you something.
I'm not even sure you could do that, but yeah, you're welcome to come over.
And next, into the lab to the mad scientist, Brian Banner. Banner, do you know what today is?
Chicken sopapilla day?
Oh. I was thinking Tuesday, but...
Taco Tuesday.
One and the same, I guess. All right, guys, we like to break our show down into 3 categories. The first category is the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is always chess day. So today we got our nominations for the 90th Academy Awards. Of course, the second most important award show behind the first annual Broscars, which we'll be presenting you all with in a few weeks. Some notable nominations, basically movies that I cared about and liked. Get Out was nominated for both Best Picture and Best Director. Logan was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. And surprisingly, no nominations at all for Wonder Woman. Now, we've been on record several times saying the Oscars have become way too artsy-fartsy for us to like. But this year, there were actually some movies that I saw and that I fucking enjoyed, getting a little bit of love, and then some that aren't. Banner, we'll go to you first because I know you were all over this earlier today. What about the nomination stands out to you, and are you pissed about anything, or are you super jacked up about anything?
A couple things. Best Actor, Daniel Kaluuya is up for Best Actor. Don't necessarily think he's going to win, but I think he did a fantastic job. But he shouldn't have been on there because McAvoy should be on there. Huge Oscar snub in my opinion. Logan getting Best Adapted Screenplay. I said this last March that it should win. Honestly, haven't seen any other movies nominated. Haven't read any of the other source material, but doesn't fucking matter because Logan should win.
Very, very well said.
Other than that, visual effects, I think this is the only time in the history of the Oscars where I've actually seen every movie nominated in the category. But it doesn't matter because War for Planet of the Apes should just absolutely destroy that. Last one, Dunkirk, Best Sound Editing. Wait a minute. It's also nominated for sound mixing.
Yeah, what's the fucking
Isn't that
difference?
the same thing?
And
There's
like,
so many differences, we don't even have time to get into it.
It's
Don't
like,
even get
okay,
started.
it doesn't make any sense. Like, whatever. A couple things I'm surprised about. First off, Banner, I want your opinion. Are you kind of surprised that Kong Skull Island is nominated for Best Visual Effects? Because I'm a little surprised about that. I mean, it wasn't going to win any other awards, but I was just like, really? Like, do we just have to fill up the fucking category? So it's like...
I mean, what would you replace it with if we're going to be honest with ourselves? That didn't make it.
Pirates, maybe?
Probably Pirates.
Yeah, okay.
Dave Man Tell Tales was a way better movie.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's another Oscar sub. That should be put up for Best Movie.
And
Best
then
Ever
Geiger
in
and I
the
were
history
talking
of
about
movies.
Geiger and I did not particularly enjoy Blade Runner, but if you're going to give it, one thing it was pretty decent to look at, so I don't mind that being up for visual effects.
Or cinematography.
Yeah, but don't give it anything for script or acting or making me sit through it. Geiger, the list is out. Anything on here that stands out to you or anything that you're super pissed off about?
The biggest surprise, and I thank you for leaving the cherry on top, because everyone's thinking about this, the 90th Academy Awards. And everyone's thinking, how the fuck has Hollywood found 90 things to bitch about each year? But I talked to my dad, and apparently back in the day, they didn't have like a vision or something they had to bitch about. They didn't have a Harvey Weinstein every year. So that's just been the last couple of years. The one thing that stood out to me, Get Out for Best Picture should win. McAvoy for Split. I'm not even pissed about that because I think it's their own fault for coming out in January. I mean, that movie is long forgotten. He was great in that, but I think if you have Daniel Day-Lewis play some crazy fucking character in January, he wouldn't even get nominated. That's just so forgotten about.
Yeah, but Daniel Kaluuya had a movie in February.
Yeah, but Get Out has had such great word of mouth and it's like transcended most.
Yeah, Get Out is a way different movie than I think the M. Night Shyamalan, and that just adding on to.
Oh yeah, I forgot it was an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Unbreakable, a superhero movie, but you kind of know where I'm getting at. I'm really surprised that Wonder Woman isn't getting any love at all, especially with Patty Jenkins directing it, since there's such a huge woman movement in Hollywood right now. And they have a leg to stand on with that one, for sure. If women in Hollywood are pissed because they're overlooked, look no further than Patty Jenkins. She did a fucking fantastic. I don't care if it's a comic book movie or not. That was is one of the most well-directed movies I saw all year.
Oh, yeah. I'm shocked it didn't get anything. I kind of wanted the score, too, my little... I would have liked that. Yeah. I'm a little shocked that Split didn't get Best Original Screenplay. I just think the whole premise of it is really fucking interesting, even aside from the twist at the end. Someone with 23 different personalities sounds like my ex-wife, except this one actually ended a little bit happier than my marriage to her. I was a little surprised by that, and then... I didn't watch all these movies. I know you have to fill up a category, but we live in a world where The Boss Baby is nominated for Best Animated Feature Film. So just think about that next time you don't want North Korea to attack us, because that's the society that we live in.
We're pointing to you, Disney. I love the remakes, but you need to make something original, man, because you used to rule that category, and now we have Boss Baby.
If Disney ever, I mean, they're remaking a lot of their animated movies now into live-action movies, but they should never lose that. The talent and the stories that they can tell, it's too much.
It's funny that we're saying Boss Baby shouldn't be in it. The Emoji Movie is nominated as well.
But not for Best Animated Feature
It's
film.
in Best Animated, isn't it?
Not what I'm looking at.
Oh.
So.
I think it's in the I think you're confusing that.
You're looking at the Razzies. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Literally the exact.
We'll get to that in a second. Yeah.
It's only the exact opposite of that. On to the second part of our show, which is our protein shake, our second most important topic of the episode. This one has me excited. So, Ryan Reynolds, it was announced today, is attached with the former writer of Deadpool in a remake of the 1985 film Clue, which is set to come out probably sometime in 2019 or 2020. The Canadian actor is on board to star in and produce the movie based on the murder mystery board game. Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, both who teamed up to write Deadpool and its upcoming sequel, have reunited with Reynolds to pen the script. So, if you haven't seen Clue... Go check it out. It's fucking awesome. It's based on the board game. It's a comedy murder mystery. And obviously Ryan Reynolds doing what he did with the creative minds behind Deadpool in a remake of this has me beyond excited. But the thing that I'm really pumped for is, Geiger and I were talking about this off pod, the talent that Reynolds can get to fill out this cast. Geiger, you want to go through some potential ideas you have, or even just what you think this film is going to be like, and maybe the tone of it, now that we know Reynolds and the writing team of Deadpool are attached?
Well, Colonel Mustard, the whole time I think of that, I just think of Robin Williams, which sucks because he would have been fucking perfect in this. So anyone else, I would love to see, like, especially since he's Deadpool, I would like to see some superhero actors get a chance. I would like to see Gary Oldman in this. I would love to see.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Who would Reynolds be, actually? Who do you think he would be?
I'm not even sure who he'd be. I'd love to see Patrick Stewart in this. Just anyone British. Michael Caine, I think, would be fucking great in this.
I think Hugh Jackman as Colonel Mustard would be hilarious.
Yeah, Colonel Mustard would be hilarious. Let me just say something about Ryan Reynolds, and I'm going to act like I know him really well, and we've had him on pod and interviewed him and drank beer with him afterwards. He did exactly what I would do if I was in Hollywood. He played ball for about 10 to 15 years. He was in Blade 3, which he probably thought sucked.
Great movie.
Blade Trinity. Give it a little fucking respect.
Yeah, Blade Trinity. Sorry. He was in Waiting, which I think he really enjoyed. I think he enjoyed Van Wilder. Just seems like his personality. He was in a movie with Sandra Bullock. That was a chick flick. That's
The Proposal.
You have to do it. You just fucking have to. Betty White's in there. She's old and funny, so that's okay. He just did a bunch of movies I think he didn't want to do, and then finally he just begged and begged and begged and hit Deadpool, and now he's just basically like, Hollywood, bend over, it's my fucking time. I'm going to direct, I'm going to star, and I'm going to do a lot of movies I want to do, because I've done a lot of stupid-ass chick flicks I didn't want to do.
He also married Blake Lively, so he's got that going for him.
I want Blake Lively in Clue as, like, Miss Peacock.
That would be hot.
Yeah. I mean, he knows Betty White from The Proposal. She could be in it, too. There's a lot of people that could be in this. I haven't played Clue for a while, but it used to be my favorite game whenever I was sick. My mom would play it with me. It is fucking fantastic, and I'm glad we need more of this as 90s nostalgia kids who are now 28 to 32 who has income to go see these movies. You need to bring more 90s nostalgia movies to the theaters that are funny. And this is a perfect example of that.
I don't know what year this is coming out. I hope 2019, but it's already my most anticipated movie of whatever year.
Doesn't matter.
Out. Yeah. Banner, anything you want to add?
No, I mean, I completely flipped my stance in the 30 seconds we've been talking about this, because I just got really excited. I'm a little afraid that it's going to be really raunchy and a lot like Deadpool.
You're afraid of that?
Because that's going to kill the spirit of what Clue is. But then the more I think about it, the more idiotic that is, and the more that I'll see myself out.
That's a really good point, Banner, because this movie could go one of two ways. I either want it really raunchy and funny like Ryan Reynolds, or I want it like Murder on the Orient Express, where it's like a fucking R-rated, really dark movie.
Yeah, I mean, give me a funny Murder on Orient Express, and I'm 100% in. I mean, that's basically what Clue is, but...
Yeah.
I think now that Geiger said it, I want Gary Oldman as Mr. Body, who of course gets murdered in the beginning of the movie. I think that'd be really. I can't fucking wait for this, dude. And you know the cast is gonna.
But what if the whole thing at the end is like a play? That would even be cool too, where they're all just in the audience like talking about it.
Well, yeah, the original movie. I won't spoil it for you, but it has a couple different endings that they present to you. So I hope they kind of.
I hope they do what they did when it was released in '85. They had 3 different endings, and you had to see it multiple times to get all the endings. I really hope they do that with this.
The first week it had one ending, the second week it had a different ending, and then the third week.
That would be fucking legit, man, for real.
That'd be sick. Cool. All right, on to the final segment of our show. But first, Banner, I think there was something that you said you wanted to ask us.
Yeah, guys, I just have a question.
Come again? I think you're asking, do you even lift, bruh? Which is the question-answer segment of our pod where we dig up some of our favorite questions from around the internet and we talk about them. So, our first question is... I actually lost the name of the person who asked this.
J. Scott.
But it says, if you could vacation at any fictional locale featured in film, where would you pick and why? Banner, you first.
Themyscira for obvious reasons.
Hang on, let me interrupt you. This is from J. Scott St. Clair.
I was about to fucking look it up.
At J. Scott for real. Sorry, J. Scott, I fucked up, but this is a great question, so we had to answer it. Banner, continue.
Themyscira for obvious reasons.
You'd be kicked out in 5 minutes. What's your next option?
It's fine. My serious option is Happy Gilmore's Happy Place.
You fucking kidding me?
Tell me it's not awesome.
Okay.
You got the chick from Modern Family and Garters, and then his grandma in a Gene Simmons mask. I'm with you, Banner. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you get a drink beer and play golf all day. Yeah. Let's live in the dream.
Not a bad life.
Yeah, okay.
Geiger, how about you?
I love Guinness because it takes forever to open that. It sounds really cool. Anyway, people know that we like beer on this podcast, but people don't know, this is a little deeper dive into us as people. We love burgers and we love music. So I'm going to go on down to Honker Burger and check out the Beats who are playing live in Bluffington. Because Doug is one of the greatest fucking shows ever.
That's a good one.
And middle school was probably my favorite time of my whole life. I mean, I was old enough that I got to do some stuff. I had a curfew at midnight, but I was still young enough that I didn't have too much responsibility. So I'd like to go back to that place with a sweater vest and short khaki shorts. So Bluffington is my pick. Jeff?
That's a good one. So originally I had said Wally World from the first vacation just because it's the greatest vacation destination in the country. But after realizing that it was closed, I think I'm going to take a little spin off of your answer, Geiger. And I want to go to Pizza Planet from Toy Story.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I mean, how fucking sick. I want to play the game where it's the the scientist or the astronaut who's laying on the slab, and you have to hit the aliens that are
It's
like
like whack-a-mole, but it's with aliens. Yeah.
What do the guards say at the first? He's like, "Welcome to Pizza Planet."
Yeah, it's like Emperor Zurg is protecting the door.
It's legit. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great question, Jay Scott, and I'm sorry I fucked up your name.
Yeah, Bedrock was a close second for me, too. I just thought it'd be too cold to climb.
Ooh, yeah, no, with dinosaurs, I'm totally in.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something from Rugrats, too, but I just want the Reptar wagon. I don't have a vacation.
Give me the Reptar wagon, and I'm good.
All right, our second question comes to us from Benji Black at Tepid Shark Take 2, who says, Razzie's nominations came out for lead actor, actress, and picture. What are you picking to win? Now, for those of you who don't know, the Razzies, when you say win, it's kind of interesting because they're actually the awards given out each year for the worst things in each movie category. Banner, we'll go to you first. The Razzie nominations, that's where the Emoji Movie comes into play. Do you have any projected winners or losers?
Yeah, I was going to go Emoji Movie for worst picture, but ages like 5 to 8 actually enjoy that movie, so I have to go Baywatch because nobody enjoys that movie.
Okay. I thought it was interesting looking at this list. Mark Wahlberg is nominated twice in the same category.
Yeah, he has to win just because he's on there twice.
For Daddy's Home 2, and then I don't know if it is this one, but it says Transformers 17, The Last Night, which I think is pretty fucking funny. Geiger, how about you? You actually just found out about what the Razzies were before this, and I think you've had a roller coaster on it, off it. What do you think?
I get what the Razzies are. They do bits. They're trying to be funny like we are. So I tip my hat to you. However, the first thing I saw was worst actor. Mark Wahlberg was up twice. One for Daddy's Home 2. Me and Jeff saw that hungover as shit on a Wednesday before it came out because we're big dicks and we roll like that. He's not the worst actor in that movie. Will Ferrell is. So I mean, he is not good. But Johnny Depp for Pirates.
You watch yourselves, Razzies.
That's one of the best Pirates movies I've ever seen. Is actually our surprise movie. I think for our end of the year review, a couple of us had that. That is a fucking fantastic movie. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. That Emoji Movie definitely is the worst movie ever. Worst actress, I'm gonna pick Tyler Perry for Boo 2 Madea Christmas, and here's why. My dad always told me, if you want to play big time sports, you gotta take big time criticism. And in 2018, if you're a man that wants to be a woman, that's courageous, and we applaud you, and we'll march down the street. However, you also got to take criticism. So if your movie fucking sucks, then you'll be up for Worst Actress, and Matt Geiger says you'll win that. So congratulations, Tyler Perry. Jeff?
I'm shocked that it's only Boo 2. I feel like we've had 17 of the fucking Madea Halloween.
We have. We've only had 2 Halloweens, though, I think.
I mean, one was too many. This guy isn't nominated because it's not a lead role, but I got to say, man, the worst acting performance I saw all year, and maybe like the last 5 years, was Scott Eastwood in Fate of the Furious.
Yeah.
He should almost win an Oscar because I was that impressed with how bad he was. All right, on to our next question. Actually, isn't a question at all. It was just an awesome idea, and we wanted to fucking talk about it. This comes to us from Thomas Fong at Salvazen, who says, I would like to see a movie about the baseball steroid era in the style of The Big Short and I, Tonya. Geiger, we'll go to you first. You actually have read a little bit of literature around this era in sports history. What are your thoughts on this idea from Thomas about getting kind of a gritty but also a little bit of a humorous take on that era or that specific few years?
Yes, Jeff. Thanks for knowing that I read. Jose Canseco Juice book.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
I have to read it all.
Interrupt you here. You guys make fun of me for reading books that get turned into movies, but yet we're going to praise Geiger for reading a fucking book?
Yeah, it's called the double standard. Look it up.
Yeah, Banner, please bow down and drink your beer and just look up on a pedestal as I make this comment here. Jose Canseco Juice, if you like baseball at all, is a very interesting read. I read it before Rafael Palmeiro was actually found using steroids, and I could not believe it at all.
Allegedly.
Actually, everything in that book is true. I would like them to dip really into C-League, and President George Bush owned the Texas Rangers at the time, who had Rafael Palmeiro,
Juan
Gonzalez, and Jose Canseco, who were like the steroid kings. I would like it to be gritty, as he said, kind of Moneyball-ish. However, I think it'd be funny if they did like an HBO joke of it, kind of like 7 Days in Hell, if you've ever seen that tennis match where like John Cena and The Rock play like fucking left fielders. I'm like, dude, how are these guys baseball players? They're just fucking juice. But It's a very interesting idea. I would love to see it. I don't know if Major League Baseball will go for it, though. Banner?
Yeah, I would love to see. You give me kind of a documentary or even like a some sort of biography of Jose Canseco and his ride, when he was with the A's and then moving to the Rangers and so on through his career. You give me a movie like that, like a mix of Wolf of Wall Street and Moneyball, I'm in 100%. I think that movie would be fantastic.
The only reason I don't want to see
with
it
Joe
is
Manganiello playing Jose Canseco.
Jose Canseco, yeah, that's
that'd
good
be
fucking
perfect.
casting.
Yeah.
I can already see the scene where Manganiello goes back to the track in right field and the fly ball hits
him
his
in the
fucking
head. Yep.
That's at the end of the trailer. All right, Thomas, that was awesome. Thank you for letting us relive that. Our final question comes to us from Felipe Miguel Munoz at Unique Felipe, who says, I want to watch a TV series now. Any recommendations? Felipe, we have been begging for this fucking question on our show. Thank you. Banner, we'll go to you first. Any TV recommendations for Felipe?
First off, thank you so much for asking this question. We talk movies all the time on this pod, but we actually watch probably more TV than we do movies. So thank you so much for asking this question. One that I actually finished right before we got on pod here was End of the Fucking World. It's a dark British comedy on Netflix currently.
And it's actually called that, right?
It's actually called it. It's End of the, and then it's F*CKING world. It's not exactly what I expected, but I think it's a very good watch. It's very quick, kind of makes you think about a couple things. I think it's 8 25-minute episodes. You can seriously knock it out in a night. It's very good. You should check it out. I thought everybody did a really good job in it.
Is it on Netflix for
It is.
Felipe's?
Yes, it is on Netflix. You can find it on Netflix. It is on Netflix.
Awesome. Geiger, this category was made for you. What do you got?
It is. I'm not picking anything on Netflix. Not picking anything on HBO. Guys, I need you to trust me on this. It's really hard to find this show. You either have to go to Movie Trader Company and rent the season. It's really hard to find illegally online.
We don't do that. We don't condone that.
Seasons. We do. If you like Game of Thrones and you enjoy Pirates of the Caribbean, you need to watch Black Sails. It's on Stars. It's fucking fantastic. Now, it's Game of Thrones where it's nudity and it's killing, but it's about pirates. But it's not Pirates of the Caribbean where you're going to have a sea monster come up and eat a ship. It is nonfiction. It's totally real. A lot of the pirates are actually historically accurate. And it's better than Game of Thrones, I think. Honestly. I'm going to tell you this. And this is why, because the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones I've watched 4 times. I love Jason Momoa. I love the young wolf Robb Stark, but they both die. Spoiler. If you know what, fuck it. If you haven't seen it, fuck
That's
it.
on you.
You need to watch Game of Thrones.
That's not our
That's
fault.
on you now. That's on you now. But the guys and girls that you want to survive in this show survive longer than in Game of Thrones. You get to learn about their character arc. It is a fantastic show, executive produced by Michael Bay. I don't know if that turns people off or turns people on. It's not crazy though. There's no Transformers in the sea. Very well directed, very well cast. It's a fucking fantastic show. You need to watch it. Give it, and it's not a slow burn either. After 1 episode, you'll be hooked. Jeff?
So my 2 are on Netflix. I'm going to get a little bit lighter with some comedies here. I got a couple for you. The first one is Lovesick. It's a British comedy show. It is basically How I Met Your Mother, but a British version. And it's fucking awesome. It's blown up. It's 3 seasons, very short, about 8 30-minute episodes each season. My other one is a show called Big Mouth, which is an animated show. It reminds me a little bit of Family Guy, but
I've heard
it's
a
by...
lot of good things about that, actually.
Yeah, the voice cast is really, really impressive. It's by Nick Kroll, and Jordan Peele is on it as well, Maya Rudolph, a bunch of other guys you would know. It's basically about these kids that are freshmen in high school and like them kind of going through puberty and wanting to fuck a bunch of chicks. It's pretty funny. So something we can all pretty much relate to. All right, guys.
For the fucking chicks part.
Well, wanting to.
Oh, wanting to. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we
we're
wanted
good.
to. We can relate to that. And on that note, we have been the Bro Force Squad podcast. For the mad scientist Brian Banner and our enforcer in the paint Matt Geiger, I am the mayor Jeff Hornacek. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. If you could give us a follow on Twitter at Bro Force Squad, Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes, Bro4Squad, 3 words, and check out everything we're doing over at our website, bro4squad.com. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. And we'll catch you next time.
Dude, I told you Michael Bay has it going on.
Okay. You're going to die on the Michael Bay. You're going to walk the fucking plank for Michael.